Hey everyone, in this episode we're reviewing Dead Man's Wire and 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
And in the second half, we compare a non-fiction story with its fictional counterpart.
Let's remember to become the ocean, not disappear into it.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to a new episode of the A-List Admission.
Yes, welcome.
If you're new to the podcast at all, I'm Ricardo.
My name's Cheyenne.
And this podcast is solely about the new releases that came the week before that we release on Tuesday, just so that way you know what to watch on cheap night or what to watch at the movies entirely.
Yeah.
Cool. You want to get into our personal news right away?
Sure, it was just a snowstorm. We had snow out the wazoo the last few days, and it stopped for a bit and then melted, and then it's just been like up and down snow the last few days. I know some in the GTA buses got canceled, schools got canceled, some like fitness classes and stuff. So
yeah, me and Cheyenne aren't winter people, so we do not like the snow that much. For me, I'll take snow on Christmas, but that's it. Like, and not even a lot of snow, like something to make the grass like white quick, and then that's it.
True.
Yeah, I'm not like we don't do skiing or snowboarding. I know how to skate, but even then, like, not a big skater. Yeah, no, winter sports is not really my thing, or I know Cheyenne's thing. We're definitely more spring, summer, fall weather than anything else. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's not much to it. We just don't like snow.
Or the winter, really.
Very cold. Yeah, I don't like winter, and I don't think it looks pretty either. So
yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into our movie news and TV news, and we'll do a little spot into the Golden Globes, which had also just happened. It's award season now. The Oscars, though, I think are late February, early March. They always usually are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll just get into a really quick rapid fire of who won what. So Best Motion Picture Drama at the Golden Globes was Hamnet.
Best Motion Picture for musical or comedy was One Battle After Another.
And then the Best Motion Picture Animated was, of course, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Best Motion Picture for a non-English language film is The Secret Agent.
And the Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Motion Picture Drama was Jessie Buckley for Hamnet.
Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Motion Picture Drama was Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent, sorry.
And the Best Performance by Female Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy was actually Rose Byrne, was the If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or in Comedy is Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme.
And then the Best Performance by Female Actor in a Supporting Role in any Motion Picture was Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another.
And then the Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Supporting Role for any Motion Picture was Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value.
Okay. And then the last one we'll do is Best Director for Motion Picture, which was Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. So there was a lot of winners. Usually there's Critics' Choice and Golden Globes, and then the Oscars and the Emmys for TV. But the Golden Globes is usually a good line into what the Oscars will be winner-wise. So very well we could see Hamnet again, Jessie Buckley again, all that jazz, but sometimes it throws it for a loop. So we'll see.
I mean, so far, Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, is one director for both of them. So he's pretty much, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a shoo-in for the director for the Oscars. I mean, like Cheyenne said, it's not always true, right? Like, we may not see Timothée Chalamet win Oscar for Marty Supreme, right? We don't know. But I mean, if we go by trends, that's what's going to happen. But we'll
sometimes the trends don't happen.
Yeah, I know. All right. So the first bit of movie news that we have is some Marvel news by Film Buzzer. Colman Domingo is reportedly in talks to play the MCU's new Kang the Conqueror that replaces Jonathan Majors. That was before. Yeah, we'll see. I know he's been talking to Kevin Feige for a little while now. There's always been rumors that he might take over as Kang. And this was even before the whole Doom stuff that came out. So we'll see. I think he'd be phenomenal at it. But I also think that people don't like taking over other people's roles.
Yeah, especially that one, because I actually liked Jonathan Majors as Kang, but...
Yeah, but with all the stuff that's happened, it's tough,
outside
right?
of that, yeah.
No, I know. For his film acting and stuff, he was a good Kang. I don't like what they did to Kang in Ant-Man Quantumania, but that's just me. I also don't like Ant-Man Quantumania for a lot of the things that they decided to do in that movie. But yeah, it's just I respect him if he wants to take over that role because he'll do phenomenally in that role. That being said, I also understand the reservation of not taking over someone else's role. So we'll see.
Okay. Next movie news is also from Film Buzzer, but Famke Janssen will officially return as Jean Grey in Avengers Doomsday. Chris Claremont, who is the industry insider / comic book writer, confirmed that in the movie, Jean Grey will be coming back and it will be Famke Janssen. They're bringing back the original cast. So not really a spoiler because it is kind of all over the news, but that's great. I thought she was great as Jean Grey. So
yeah, I'm curious to see how the original cast is gonna go. And they said all of them. So does that mean Halle Berry's coming back as Storm? He
said the entire original cast is coming back. So including Famke. So
I'm curious to what capacity they're gonna be in the film because I know that that's gonna be a big thing. Is the X-Men coming back?
The movie's going to be a big thing, especially Doomsday with it landing with Dune 3.
Yeah, I don't know if do you think the hype is going to be big enough for Doomsday? Because I don't think it's going to be.
Not at all.
I think Barbenheimer or whatever the thing was.
Yeah, Barbenheimer.
Was such a big phenomenon thing that I don't think.
Because they were so opposite to each other. These
Fair.
Aren't. They're just trying too hard now.
No, but it works so well phonetically.
Yeah.
That I feel like it should work better, but it won't, and that's going to be upsetting. The third bit of movie news is from Screen Thrill. Netflix will be the first and the exclusive streamer for all Sony movies after the theaters and VOD. So this includes when Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, Legend of Zelda comes out, and all the Beatles biopics that are supposed to come. They'll all eventually land on Netflix first before they go anywhere else. This is the first ever global pay one deal. The rollout starts in 2026. It'll be fully global by 2029. It'll run all the way to 2032 possibly. And this deal is worth $7 billion, which, I mean, Netflix is rolling in it right now, I guess, right? With Warner Brother deal, with this Sony deal. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting to see Netflix really trying to push itself as literally the number one place for all movies now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Last and final movie news is Film Buzzer. The Minecraft movie 2 will officially begin filming in April. Jason Momoa confirmed it on The Tonight Show. He even said the script is even better. And quote, "It was so good I laughed out loud. I haven't laughed out loud in so long with the script." End quote. I think that's great. I'm very excited to see that happen. And have a sequel because it was pretty funny, especially with Jack Black and Jason Momoa together. I thought it was great, so I'm excited to see where that takes off.
Do you think it's gonna have the same issue as it did when Minecraft came out, where kids were screaming, throwing stuff?
Yes,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, but that's the problem because that to me ruined a big chunk of the movie experience. Yeah, I really do hope that that doesn't become a recurring thing every Minecraft movie, because if that's gonna be the case, then I'd much rather not watch this movie when it comes out on theater, because I don't want popcorn being rained down on me. I don't want someone to bring a live chicken. Yeah, that was the thing that happened.
So yes, I did hear about that.
That's what I mean. If that's what's gonna happen, I'd rather not see this in theater.
Fair enough.
All right, well, that's all of our movie news. Now we'll get into our movie reviews. The two movies we watched this week was Dead Man's Wire.
And 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Perfect. Yeah, the other one that came out this week was
Charlie the Wonder Dog.
Thank you. I always forget that one. But we just ran out of time, so we'll review it next week with the other movies that come out next week as well.
Yeah, it's not in any rush for that movie.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's really talking about that movie, but we'll get to it. All right. So do you want to do the first one, or do you want me to do the first one? All right. The first movie we did was Dead Man's Wire, which came out January 16th of 2026. The director is Gus Van Sant. The rating is rated R for language and intense true crime content, and the runtime is 1 hour and 45 minutes. The main cast of the movie is Bill Skarsgård, Dacre Montgomery, Carrie Elways, Myha'la, Colman Domingo, and Al Pacino. And the spoiler-free synopsis is about a shocking true crime hostage standoff in 1977 Indianapolis. A desperate man pushed to the edge by financial ruin and believing he's been betrayed by his mortgage broker wires a shotgun to the broker's neck and holds him hostage. As the situation escalates over several days, the confrontation becomes a media spectacle, a test of negotiation, and a dramatic exploration of desperation, public perception, and justice, drawing national attention and raising questions about how far a person can be driven when they feel like they've been wronged. So, what did you think of Dead Man's Wire?
I kind of liked it, actually. I didn't know much about it going in. I'm not a huge fan of the movies that Mongrel Media makes, just because they're more international films, and that doesn't appeal to me as much. But the cast in this is great. So once I realized who was in it, I'm like, wow, this might be really good. And I haven't seen Dacker Montgomery in a while, since Stranger Things, honestly, when he was Billy. So yeah, I actually really liked it, and it's cool or interesting that it's based off a true story. Crazy that there's literally just a man walking the streets with another man with a gun attached to his head. Crazy. But no, I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought the acting was really good. I thought that Bill Skarsgård played this weird, psyched out, crazed person, but he's not crazy. He's just weird. But no, I think he did a very good job. I think Dacker Montgomery did a phenomenal job playing this weirded out victim, because he knows he's probably not going to die, but he also feels like he's going to die. It's this weird balance. I think he did a really good job. And then, Colman Domingo's voice is so soothing over the radio.
The other thing is they all really honed in well on their Midwest accents. They did a really good job making an Indianapolis accent.
Yeah. Oh, and Carrie Elwise, you cannot tell that's Carrie Elwise at first glance.
At first glance, no. And then you hear his voice and you're like, wait a second. And then you see his face. You're like, oh, okay, Carrie Elwise.
No, you still had to point it out to me.
True.
For me to go, that I'm like, oh, that's Carrie Elwise. That doesn't look like him at all.
The things that irk me about this movie are just certain characters that Al Pacino's character I'm not a fan of. You'll see why when you see the movie.
Do you mean that in the way he acted it?
Yeah, he was a good actor. I just didn't like his character.
I see.
For certain things.
I honestly kind of think that they wasted Al Pacino's on this. They could have used anybody on this. I don't think Al Pacino needed to be in this movie.
No, but maybe he wanted to be.
If if he saw the script and was no, I need to be in this, great. I don't know. It feels like one of those things where Al Pacino's character did not need to be Al Pacino to deliver the same kind of,
it needed to be hardly a gritty salesman type vibe.
Yeah, I agree.
It didn't need to be Al Pacino.
No. All in all, I think this movie is really good. I think there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, that's what he said when he finished. I'm like, I loved it, and he's like, there's a lot of talking. I'm like, okay, so.
No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's just it's a lot more exposition heavy than action heavy. Right? Whereas once you see someone being held hostage, you kind of think this is going to be more action heavy usually, but it's way more exposition heavy. It's a lot more of kind of understanding the psyche of Bill Skarsgård's character, and then kind of just on the edge of a really bad situation that never really happened. Right? And so I just be ready for way more exposition than action is more my advert to this.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say this movie gets a 6 out of 10.
Oh, mine was 6.5. So
yeah, I
really enjoyed it more. I think I enjoyed both movies more than Ricky did. So
I don't know. This movie I thought was good, kind of being on the same level as Cheyenne said last week, where I'm trying to be not necessarily more stingy, but trying to be more cautious over what I rate higher than a 7. Because this movie was good, but I can definitely see that there's going to be movies later on this year that definitely deserve a higher praise than this. Same with the next one, but yeah.
Yeah, so 6.5 for me, 6 for Ricky. So
yeah.
That's not too bad.
No.
Second movie and final movie we saw was 28 years later. The Bone Temple also was released on January 16th of 2026. The director is Nia DaCosta. The writer is Alex Garland, and we don't usually do the writer, but I wanted to because Alex Garland is a notable director as well, so I thought that was kind of cool. It's rated R for strong bloody violence, gore, language, and brief drug use, and has a runtime of 1 hour and 49 minutes. The main cast include Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, Alfie Williams, Aaron Kellyman, Chi Lewis Perry, and Emma Laird. Okay, and the spoiler-free synopsis for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple is that it continues the post-apocalyptic saga set decades after the original outbreak of the Rage virus. In a world where survival is already brutal, society has fractured further, and the living now pose threats as terrifying as the infected. The story picks up after the events of 28 Years Later, with Spike drawn deeper into a dangerous world dominated not just by the undead, but by the ruthless survivor factions. Meanwhile, Dr. Ian Kelson embarks on a discovery that could reshape humanity's understanding of the virus and change the world as they know it. So, what did you think of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple?
So 28, the 28 saga is not my favorite when it comes to zombie movies. This movie in particular, I thought was kind of wasted. Like, I think there's some aspects to this that are really cool. Like, near the latter half, and Cheyenne will tell you, is definitely the better part of this. But, like, most of this movie to me is just wasted air. Like, I don't...
Hot air?
Yeah. Like, it's not needed. Like, I don't think any part of this movie is, like, really... Like, if we have never seen 28 Years Later, we don't... I don't know. Like, this movie, to me, if you saw 28 Years Later, you don't need this movie.
No. I thought it was hilarious. So we left and I was cackling outside. So if you didn't know this about me, or if you're new to watching, I hate zombie movies. I don't really care if you disagree with me on this, because I hate them. I think they're stupid. They make no sense. I am not a fan at all. I do not like them. Zombieland was the only one where I can tolerate because it's funny. This one, all I'm going to say is there's one scene near the latter half that made me switch my feeling on it to, oh, this is boring, to, oh, this is hilarious. All I'll say is that it gave me vibes of Pan, which was a movie that was the Peter Pan like remake with Hugh Jackman, and it was not good. And they do a scene where they sing a Pink Floyd song, and it just was like, it's not a good movie. It's not a good Peter Pan movie. This is not a good movie. It really isn't, but I thought it was hilarious and actually made my evening so much better, the latter half of that movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think, like I said, the 28 whatever is not usually our cup of tea when it comes to zombie movies. I was telling this to Cheyenne as well. I think this series focuses a lot on different factions that could survive in a zombie apocalypse. That being said, a lot of it to me is very boring, very like drawn out, very on like the fringe of being like true. I think it can be really good. I think there are things that really separate it. But this one in particular, I thought people were kind of just bumbling around until like the climax happens. And then the climax is kind of interesting, but yeah. There is a surprise near the end of this movie. I'll leave it at that. But you'll really appreciate it if you follow along this series really well.
True, but the acting's still great. Jack O'Connell's great as Jimmy Crystal. Alfie is great as Spike. Ralph obviously great as Dr. Ian Kelson. Like, the whole overall thing was really good. It is hella gory, which you come to expect with zombies, but it is full of nudity. Like, a lot. And I'm like, I'm not in the mood to see all this right now.
I mean, it makes sense to the zombie apocalypse, but it is a lot, and it's one of those things where if you're not expecting it and then you just
like use a fucking loincloth or something, like, you know, I don't know, that I could have lived without that, but
I will say, just to clarify, this movie is not funny. Cheyenne just thinks it's funny.
It is, yeah. The latter half is like, I mean, there's parts in it that are funny. And there's people laughing behind us.
There's comedic beats.
There was even people clapping in one particular scene after I said when I really liked it.
This movie is not meant to be funny.
It's not meant to be funny, but I don't think it's... I think it doesn't feel that serious. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd give it a 3. It's not great by any means. And people are not going to agree with us because people are obsessed with the 28-year day... week, whatever franchise. We're just not huge fans. For me personally, it's a 3. But it was hilarious. The latter half I'd give like a 5.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think it's gonna be a 3. But like, to be honest, that scene is probably the best scene in the movie, and I think there are better zombie movies, truly. Like, even The Last of Us does the quote-unquote zombie apocalypse way better than any 28 days, 28 weeks, 28 years later movie. Also, like, I don't know. I have a better feeling that there are way more fun and interesting zombie movies. Like, even Zombieland that Cheyenne mentioned is 10 times better than that.
Well, it's intentionally funny, though.
But it's enjoyable. That's the difference to me. I don't find any of the 28 blank enjoyable. I think they're very boring and slow. And for zombie movies that is supposed to create fear, I just don't enjoy them that much.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of the two movies, rating-wise, we'd obviously say Dead Man's Wire, but it's harder to find that movie, I think. Whereas Bone Temple obviously is not. It's everywhere.
I mean, if you like the franchise, you're going to like Bone Temple. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If you don't like the franchise and you don't want to watch a zombie movie, then absolutely watch Dead Man's Wire. I think it's way better. And it's way more enjoyable. Again, like, maybe we're the outliers that we don't like the 28 blank stuff later. That everyone is going to enjoy the Bone Temple. I just don't think I think it's pointless.
Okay. Love that. So in the second half, we're going into fictional movies and their non-fictional counterpart, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I'll get started.
Cool.
The first bit is about fame, ambition, and public image. So everyone knows about Tanya Harding, and they made not a biopic, but they made that type of non-fictional version called I, Tanya with Margot Robbie. An interesting fictional comparison would be Black Swan.
I actually think it's a really good comparison.
Yeah, and they both work really well because there's the pressure, obsession, and like women pushed to breaking points. But there is this debate on like sympathy versus responsibility. So did Tanya ever really stand a chance?
So if we talk about the angle of whether she was able to physically or athletically compete with Nancy, I think that she could. I think there was an argument that she absolutely could. The problem is that I think because she got so much in her head about the whole competition that there was then she took herself out of it. Regardless of the whole accident that happened, I don't think Tanya would have won.
Yeah. Because
she was already in her head so much about Nancy beating her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Next one in the like fame and public image type is Bohemian Rhapsody, which was the nonfiction for I say nonfiction, it's because I'm comparing it with a fictional film. Yeah. There obviously is inaccuracies in all of the nonfiction.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But Bohemian Rhapsody based off of Freddie Mercury, an amazing job by Rami Malek. But if you pair it with a fiction version, it'd be Almost Famous. And it works because it's music myth-making versus music truth. But do you think it's okay to rewrite history if the vibes are good?
No, I think if the idea is that you're trying to create an accurate representation of something, like in Bohemian Rhapsody in particular, like me and Cheyenne don't know Almost Famous that well. Like we know it a little bit, but not that much. But speaking on the fact of Bohemian Rhapsody, if you're going to shape it to tell the story you want to tell, then you're not telling the accurate story, right? And that's kind of the point that everyone wants to see, like Bohemian Rhapsody or even like Rocket Man, which Rocket Man also has a ton of inaccuracies too. Like that's kind of the problem, is like when you portray it as someone that is real and then change the story, people then assume the changed story is real. So then you kind of screw up everything for the person's history, right? I don't know. I'm on the side of no, don't change it.
Oh, I agree. Don't rewrite it. I want to know how he got famous.
Truthfully,
if there's boring bits, then cut them out. Don't make something new.
I agree. All right. So the next category was crime, cons, and moral gray areas. Specifically, we're going to talk about Catch Me If You Can paired with The Talented Mr. Ripley. So one of the many things that make this comparison work really well is the identity theft, the charm, and pretending to be someone else. But why do we root for liars when they're charismatic?
Makes for good content.
I completely agree. I mean, I know you're half joking, but like, no.
No, that's why I like true crime documentaries and stuff. It's because, like Ted Bundy, like very charismatic guy. makes for good TV. Unfortunate circumstances throughout, obviously. But like A Talented Mr. Ripley, I didn't like as much as Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me If You Can, I mean, the Frank Abagnale character, like in real life, we'll get into that a little bit after. But it's, you just root for him because I'm like, oh, he's doing so well. And he's like so sneaky. I love the spy angle to it.
I think the other part of this is the underdog aspect of it, right? Like Frank Abagnale at the beginning of Catch Me If You Can is poor and doesn't have the money to succeed. And then he finds a way to, obviously circumventing the law, finds a way to succeed, and then you see him be successful. So it's kind of like this weird, like you're like, oh man, he came from nothing, and then he became something until he goes to jail.
Yeah,
but like, you know what I mean? Like it's that little bit of like wanting the person who has a bad upbringing succeed into something positive. That's the reason why, to me, that liars end up being the ones that you root for.
I love these like con artist movies, heist movies, like those literally moral gray areas. But like, who would be more unsettling, Frank or Tom? I'd kind of argue both, but Frank is unsettling in the fact that he can get through so much stuff.
I agree.
By lying, like fake degree, fake whatever. Like he can get through all these scenarios perfectly fine.
Tom blending in as literally anybody is also kind of scary. The only thing that I think Frank is a little bit scarier for is how many big institutional things he gets into, right? Like what, similar to what you said, like becoming a doctor, becoming a pilot, becoming like, you name it. Like it was one of those
high class jobs from nothing. Whereas, I mean, different scenario, and that's, as far as we know, semi-truth, because Frank did lie outwardly.
So yeah, I'll do a quick recap on that. So Frank is a inherent liar throughout his entire life. So after all this happened, he wrote a book, and that book outlined all of his adventures. It got really famous, and they made a movie. There is a fact, I'm pretty sure this is true, that none of that happened.
If not, like 90% didn't happen, and that is a known fact.
Yeah, but obviously the movie came out as based on a true story bit, and so a lot of people still think it's a true story, which is valid. But like,
I mean, if the original guy says, or like they found out that it's not. You can wish for it to be real, but I think it's almost like people root for these because you want to do it, but you'll never do it. Like some people will never want to do this, but they love to see someone do what they have been thinking about, or like what if scenario. But like, interestingly enough, both of these movies have very A-list actors as the main roles. So
well, let's jump into the next one, and it kind of still revolves around the same thing, right?
And the same actor.
Yeah. The Wolf of Wall Street versus Wall Street in 1987. This works simply because of real excess versus fictional excess. But do you think these movies accidentally glorify bad people?
Not accidentally. They intentionally glorify bad people.
I completely agree with you.
Like, yeah, Wolf of Wall Street? Hell yeah. I mean, I love that movie. I think it's a great movie. The book is trash to read. Jordan Belfort cannot write worth shit, and they have said this in reviews that he's not a writer. He knows he's not a writer. I believe he also, correct me if I'm wrong, wrote it while he was partially in jail or something.
Yeah, I think so.
His adventures or what have you. They definitely glorified him. Are you kidding me?
He's a horrific human being.
He's an awful human being, at least in the movie. He's an awful human being. Leo DiCaprio does a great job at glorifying that too, but it's intentional. It is hell not accidental.
No, I don't think it's accidental at all. I think there's movies that do accidentally glorify very bad people, but I really do think that, and like even when you look at like Dahmer, for example, also glorifies a bad person. That to me, I feel, is more accidental than purposeful. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think this was accidental. I think they truly were like, oh, this story is so good on TV, on movie. Let's glorify it, right?
So then, which one of these two movies aged worse?
I don't know. We don't know, or I don't know Wall Street that well. So
it has Charlie Sheen in it.
So immediately it's aged worse because it's Charlie. No, screw you, Charlie Sheen. I'm joking.
No, I actually I liked his acting in 2.5 Men. I'm partial to Charlie Sheen in that. But anyway, no, I was going to say the one that aged worse is definitely the 1987 Wall Street, because you never hear about it anymore. I mean, it got a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, so like obviously not a bad movie. But you never hear about it. Wolf of Wall Street, you still see memes and clips all the time, especially the chest thumping scene or the Margot Robbie sexy scene. Like all those things still happen and still go around. And that movie's been out for probably 10 years.
Yeah.
That definitely Wall Street aged worse.
One thing I wanted to say about this section too was things that really help you glorify the cons bit is like when you look at heist movies like Ocean's 11, when you look at heist movies, even like the more comedic ones like Tower Heist, both those movies do really well at you you end up rooting for the people that are definitely breaking the law.
All the heist movies are like that, yeah.
Because it kind of like what Cheyenne said, you kind of just want to stick it to the man in that sense, right? Like the guy who you deem is clearly evil, even though he maybe, like Tower Heist is different, but like even people who are following the law or people that are all that, like you always end up rooting for the people that are breaking the law because you want to stick it to the person, right?
All right, the next section is truth, justice, and systems failing. So we're comparing the true story of Spotlight with Prisoners, both being very heavy stories, but still talked about. Both movies are still very well talked about. Spotlight, obviously putting a spotlight on drama in the church.
Yep.
And then Prisoners, obviously the kidnapping. First time I ever really knew Paul Dano. And brilliant in that movie, and Jake Gyllenhaal brilliant, like all really good. But they both work because there's moral tension, but there's still the slow burn investigation. Spotlight did win the Oscar, I believe, or nominated regardless. And then Prisoners was I thought a fantastic movie. The ending's awful. That's the one thing I didn't like about this movie was the ending. That coin flipped me. There's moments where I don't like it, and there's moments where I like it. I don't like it because I just don't like it. But it is an older movie actually now too. But when does doing the right thing cross a line?
When you break the law, I think.
Yeah, I think invade privacy to an extent where it breaks the law. Like break the privacy if it's legal. Like find out what's happening in the Catholic Church. Find out what's happening to those children and prisoners. Like find out without getting yourself in shit.
Yeah. It's the old adage. It's the Dark Knight adage where like if you're a hero long enough you become the villain. Right? Where like if we look at, I'll do Prisoners because Prisoners is the first one that pops
because Hugh Jackman's a perfect example of a hero in that.
He's trying to find
his
daughter, right? Yeah.
I think there's two. His daughter and his friend's daughter.
Right. They're trying to find the person who kidnapped his daughters or the children, and he like puts Paul Dano through fucking hell in that movie.
And oh man, Paul Dano's a brilliant actor.
But like, it's wild. Like that's the moment where you're like, he's just trying to save kids, and he is on the bridge of killing somebody for it. And like that's where that line crosses so quickly. Right, so I think it's you got to be careful when there's definitely, because like let's say Hugh Jackman does find the children that like that, none of that's now admissible in court. The guy can go free.
I would love if they did a sequel. I just really want to know, or if the director of Prisoners can come out and say what really happens after. I just want to know.
Then you ruin the ambiguous ending.
I don't really like ambiguous endings. I'm not a huge fan. I would rather them tell me, because I don't want my mind to go a mile a minute trying to figure out what happened, because I just tell me point blank. That's why I'm going to see a movie. I don't want my imagination really to push that ending.
All right, just for people who have not seen Prisoners, I'm gonna say the ending quick. They definitely find them. There's no way they don't.
Really?
Yeah.
It won't matter if you say the ending, because this is not spoiler free. These are movies that have been out for 10 years.
I know. It was a nice little warning. But no, there's definitely no way they did not find Jake Gyllenhaal. Right? Because they really turn around and hear him screaming.
I know.
But you think that they're like, nothing, it's the wind, and then they walk off? No, they were definitely listening for something, and the second they heard it, they would have saved him.
All right, then the other movie in the Truth, Justice, and Systems Failing is Just Mercy, which is with Michael B. Jordan. Pair it with The Shawshank Redemption. Obviously, one very dramatized and one very true. So, Just Mercy is obviously the true of the two things. Shawshank Redemption being a Stephen King novel. Both really hit home. Both deal with racism in some degree as well, especially Just Mercy. Both excellently done. And people that we know, and tons of people still say The Shawshank Redemption is their favorite movie of all time.
All time.
Yeah, it works because they are wrongful imprisonment. So it's that real pain versus hopeful fiction. I personally kind of disagree with the hopeful fiction because I don't think it's hopeful. I would love for it to be.
I think it's because you have a too realistic brain to this. Because I think there is like, when it comes to fictional stories.
Fictional, there's the hopeful, yes. Hopeful fiction, I'll give you that. But some of them, especially the real ones, they don't end well because the justice system could be like there was DNA there that proves it. One time there was a case that it was the wrong DNA they tested. Someone got...
Okay, so then this is kind of already hitting the question then.
Yeah, which hits harder emotionally? Out of these two movies.
Okay. So for me, I think the real story will always hit harder.
I think so too. To be honest, I kind of think the fictional one hits harder emotionally because they can push the needle to make it more emotional. They can fake it.
I think in this instance, I think you're right. The Shawshank Redemption is way more emotional. If we saw, I don't know, if for my brain, if this was Just Mercy compared to any other movie like this, I still think Just Mercy would be way more emotional.
Yeah, the true story.
I just think that the comparison between Shawshank Redemption is so tough.
But it's Michael B. Jordan's dedication to the one case for years to get this guy free. That shows the dedication. So it does hit harder emotionally because it's also a real human fighting for another real human for years. That takes a toll on the Michael B. Jordan's character.
Honestly, I think this is a good question to pose out to people because I think this is tough because I think that there is definitely an argument to say the Shawshank Redemption is way more emotionally investable. That's not a word.
No. Vestibule is.
Whatever. People can get way more invested in the Shawshank Redemption than in Just Mercy. The last group is about survival and human endurance. We're comparing Captain Phillips with Argo, which is interesting because we've compared all real movies to fictional movies. There's an argument to this. There's real to real.
Which is why we've added it.
But I will get into that a little bit in a second. But some of the things that make this comparison work really well is the real world tension presented like a thriller. Yeah, so the thing is, right, Captain Phillips is definitely I don't know if it's fully real, but it's definitely like more real to me than
more accuracies in
it than Argo, because Argo is presented like the Americans did everything. Again, this might hit people in a weird way. For me, this is partially fictional because it undermines the Canadian commitment to that whole incident, right? Because the Canadians did take them in. The Canadians did help them get all the people out, right? The only thing to me that the Americans really did was pose as a film crew, right? And like, I think that it really does take away a lot of what the Canadian commitment was. That being said, the movie is actually really good. I actually really like Argo. I actually really like both of these movies. But let's talk about the accuracy versus the entertainment aspect, which we've been kind of, there's like a through line to this throughout the whole podcast. But
Captain Phillips, more, I think probably more accurate to an extent. Again, I think Argo was filmed more for the entertainment accuracies
I agree.
than real life accuracies. The black actor in Captain Phillips, who plays the Somalian,
I don't remember his name.
Brilliant.
Phenomenal.
Really good job. And obviously Ben Affleck, great in Argo. Tom Hanks, brilliant in Captain Phillips. Both really good for different reasons. Out of the two movies, I did find Argo more entertaining because I think they definitely added bits or ad-libbed bits. Or again, like Ricky said, kind of diminished what the Canadian side of the argument was, or their help in literally getting these people out. So that's why we kind of put it in the fiction realm, is because there is a segment of it coming from Canadians, where the Canadian side of it is not advertised enough in it. Captain Phillips is just the story as you see it.
I think there's definitely a bit of it that are both fictionalized, though.
In the midst of accuracies and stuff, I do think Captain Phillips does have more accuracies based off what I've heard outwardly, too, not just from seeing it. But yeah, sorry, you were saying.
No, I was completely agreeing with you. I think Captain Phillips, I think they're both definitely fictionalized to make it a little bit more dramatic, but I think Captain Phillips is more accurate compared to Argo. I think Argo does really take a lot of liberties to enhance the American side of that story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're wrong. Let us know if we're wrong.
Let us know your thoughts on all of these.
Right? I think there's a lot of cool things when you compare the real stories to fictional stories, because the argument can also be is like, what is more fun to watch on a big screen? Because there's a lot of real life stories that are not entertaining at all. Like when we watched The Smashing Machine, not great.
Yeah.
Like we did not enjoy that movie at all. But then
Christie, we enjoyed more.
But I guess in the realm of like real stories, like when we compare it to Dead Man's Wire to me, I actually enjoyed way more than both Christie and The Smashing Machine.
And I enjoyed Roofman more than
Roofman was amazing.
Yeah,
that's a movie I'll dial back.
Definitely.
I kind of wish we had put it into our honorable mentions now that I think about it, because I really liked it. Kristen Dunst and Channing Tatum do a phenomenal job.
You didn't seem to like it as much at the time, so I'm glad you didn't.
I liked it.
Didn't like it as much as an honorable mention. But there was also a lot of inaccuracies in that.
True.
I read about it after.
Anyway.
So on that is our second half. But we do have a Did We Know, as always. Jinx. And it's a zombie movie edition. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Sure, I can go. All right, so the first one is, the word zombie never appears in the movie Night of the Living Dead. They're only called ghouls. The modern zombie label came later. Did we know?
No.
Not at all. I always just assumed that they said zombies in it.
I would love to know when the word zombie came, but no, that's really interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. I never thought of that.
George A. Romero basically invented the modern zombie. So before him, zombies were tied to voodoo, but Romero made them flesh-eating, mindless, and apocalyptic. Did we know?
No, actually.
No, most of these I'm probably going to say no.
No, but like even I've seen a couple of George A. Romero movies. They're your standard.
Oh yeah,
original.
Like what?
I don't remember their names.
Oh, okay.
I'll be very honest with you. I remember seeing a couple of them, but like anyway, like I do think, his style it ends up does being the kind of traditional zombie now. It's interesting because I never just reflected on it. That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I actually really do think that it's phenomenal that he's managed to change the landscape of zombie movies for here and after.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is, zombies weren't always slow. Fast zombies are a modern thing. 28 Days Later, World War Z, and people are still mad about it. Did we know?
Yes, that they were a modern thing, but no, that people are still mad about it doesn't surprise me.
I didn't know that they were. I didn't know that they weren't always fast. I always assumed that there was like one or two. I always assumed there was like maybe one that was fast back then, but and also to me, I don't understand why people are mad. Like, it makes sense that there's going to be different variations of a zombie, right? Like, just because one was slow doesn't mean all of them are slow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's dumb for people being mad at.
Shoot the head isn't universal. Romero zombies could be killed in other ways, but the headshot rule became standard later. Did we know?
No.
No.
I always assumed a headshot, boom, was done. Man, maybe I just fell victim to all of these stupid zombie movies. All right, the next one is that zombies became political commentary. Dawn of the Dead was consumerism. Land of the Dead was class divide, and Night of the Living Dead was race and authority, even if it was unintentional. Did we know?
No, but I can totally see that now.
Like, even if we look at World War Z, I think that does that very well, too. It's very political. Yeah, so, like, even in The Last of Us, when Joel has to make a decision of whether to save Ellie or not, and to put the human race at risk because of Ellie, is, like, that makes it super political. Like, what would you do, right? Kind of instance. So, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's interesting. I never thought of them being political, but it's really cool.
Most zombie outbreaks start because humans mess up. Military errors, science gone wrong, capitalism, corporations. It's rarely just nature. It's usually something that humans have done. Did we know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally.
This
the 28 series, it's a rage virus. So
yeah, but it's literally every movie that's like that.
Yeah.
It's some sort of virus or some sort of medicine to cure stuff that causes people to go
Yeah.
nuts. Zombie makeup is shockingly cheap. Corn syrup plus food coloring plus Rice Krispies, classic brain effects. Did we know?
yes, from like way back
Oh,
when.
But I think that old horror movies also do cheap prosthetics and stuff like that so well.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. But same with Psycho and stuff. The mall obsession started in 1978. Dawn of the Dead set the standard. Malls equals safety plus temptation. Did we know?
No, I didn't know.
I didn't know when it. Yeah, I didn't know when it started, but that's. They're so right.
Yeah,
Mall in Last of Us. Mall
it
in
actually
Dawn of the
works
Dead.
really well though in the mall because you can introduce a lot of zombies quickly. You can introduce a level of safety there and a lot of resources. I think it's a great pull. Zombies don't technically need to bite. In many movies, everyone is already infected, but death is the trigger. Did we know?
No, not really. I didn't think that they didn't need to bite.
I think my brain naturally goes to, they need to bite. But I think I did know this. I think there is movies that I've seen that do this well.
Huh.
Interesting.
And the last one is that comedy saved some zombie movies. So without Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland, the genre might have eaten itself alive. Did we know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that it saved zombie movies.
But I could see why.
But, man, those two movies alone are phenomenal. I know
Very
Cheyenne
good.
hasn't seen Shaun of the Dead, but...
Zombieland I've seen. And I love Simon Pegg's movies and Nick Frost movies.
Yeah.
But, like I would know I would like it. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. Zombieland I've seen. I thought it was funny. So
anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please follow us along on any of our social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Threads,
X.
Yep.
Letterboxd.
Yeah. Yes, Letterboxd for sure. Follow us on YouTube or Spotify for the video podcast, but you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, you name it, wherever you get your podcasts. Please follow us along for any short form content like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or TikToks. Remember that all of this is just our opinion, so whether you agree with us or not, that's totally okay. Please let us know what you think down below. You got anything?
No, you're right. It's just our opinions. So obviously we implore you to see these movies, whether you agree with us or not. We just give suggestions on what would be fun for a cheap night option. As we said, for the coming next time we film, we will have Charlie the Wonder Dog added to that roster. Again, I don't think many people are going to be waiting in line to see that, but go off, Owen Wilson. Yeah,
guys, just subscribe, ring the notification bell, add it to your favorites,
share
it.
Whoa,
Jinx, you got me last time. Anyway, share it with all your friends, family, enemies, coworkers, arch rivals, whoever you got, all your heated rivalries.
Oh.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and
we'll see you at the movies.
See you there.
Bye.
Bye.